Welcome to Typevolution's new 4-part villain mini-series, where I show you how the 16 Jungian personality types can fulfill their purposes in the most twisted and darkest ways possible. If you have been following me for a while, you will know of my concept of purpose roles, whereby each Jungian personality type has a certain archetypal social role to fulfill. What makes the best villains so terrifying is how they fulfill their purpose role in a dark way. They are going to be subject matters that are more violent, graphic, and of a sexual nature. Viewer discretion is advised. This video will deal with a group of Jungian personalities that I call the association. ESTJ, ISTJ, ENFP and INFP and MBTI, as well as LSE, SLI, IEE and EII in Socionics respectively. My take on these types is, you could say, a mix of both systems, or inspired by both systems. I call these archetypes the administrator, the stabilizer, the pundit, and the humanist respectively. These are the 4 types characterized by valuing these cognitive functions: extroverted thinking, introverted sensing, extroverted intuition, and introverted feeling. I chose the term association for this grouping of personalities because the word itself is a good representation of extroverted intuition, which tends to be quite associative. Furthermore, associations often have a humanitarian focus that deals with its matters in a serious and efficient manner, typical of extrovert thinking and introvert feeling. At last, the types in the association are concerned with stability and physical caretaking, typical of introvert sensing. Now onto the types themselves. The pundit and humanist turn the humanity of themselves or others inside out in a sort of whimsical or childlike manner. In that sense, no matter their age, they come across like wise children. As these types deteriorate, their take on humanity and morality devolve from a fairy tale into a nightmare. The pundit is the extroverted variety and tends to be more outspoken or energetic, whereas the humanist is the introverted variety. Both of them are also so-called ethical or feeling types, whereby they approach the world through the lens of what feels right or wrong. The dark administrator and stabilizer take care of others and or the world in an overbearing and patronizing manner, along the lines of knowing what's best for you. The administrator is the extroverted variety, being more hands-on and aggressive than the stabilizer, who is the introverted variety. Both of them are also logical types, which makes them quite down-to-earth and no-nonsense. Before each example, I first tell you my purpose role description and then how the character fits it. The pundit is in their natural element when they create or discuss novel, especially utopian ideas and concepts on human matters, including their own personal preferences and morals, in a way that is also accessible and entertaining to people. The quintessential manic pixie girl trope often matches the pundit, especially if the female is extroverted, thought-provoking and quirky, such as Clementine from the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Hi.
Sorry?
I just said hi.
Hi, hello. Hi.
Okay, if I sit closer? Agent Orange. I came up with that one. I apply my personality in a paste.
Pretty name though, it really is nice. It's means merciful, right? Clemency.
Although it hardly fits. I'm a vindictive little bitch, truth be told.
Here's one of her most well-known quotes. "I'm not a concept. Too many guys think I'm a concept, or I complete them, or I'm going to make them alive, but I'm just a fucked up girl who's looking for my own peace of mind. Don't assign me yours." Funny enough, what she's saying is actually the case. She actually is representing a concept. Arthur Fleck is a broken man, bogged down by people's mistreatment of him. Initially, he explored his ideas about society and other people in his comedy. But as his mental health deteriorates, his jokes become darker and turn into a biting commentary of what is wrong with society, according to his morals. He himself becomes a twisted version of his ideal, the Joker, seeing life itself as a dark comedy. Thereby, he represents the pundit both in his words and self-concept. But he does so in the worst way possible, especially since he ends up killing people to get his points across.
You're awful.
Me? I'm awful? Oh yeah, how am I awful?
Playing my video. Inviting me on the show. You just wanted to make fun of me. You're just like the rest of them. How about another joke, Murray?
No, I think we've had enough of your jokes.
What do you get
I don't think so.
when you cross
I think
a
we're
mentally
done
ill
with
loner
this.
with
That's
a
it.
society that abandons him and treats him like trash?
Call the police,
I'll
Gene.
tell you what you get.
Call the police.
Get what you fucking deserve.
The administrator will be in their natural element when they engage in administrative tasks and/or managerial roles that increase efficiency whilst establishing a stable well-being of the people involved. Yubaba is the owner of a bathhouse and fulfills all the necessary managerial duties. Not only is she greedy, threatening, and overbearing, but also she steals the names of her employees. Doing so, she erases their personal identities and keeps them working for her forever, unless they can remember their names. Yubaba is a symbolic example of a dark administrator who in real life would also trap their employees under their terrorizing and overbearing care, giving them a livelihood but also keeping them trapped at the same time. Jack Torrance is a father, husband and caretaker of the Overlook Hotel, which is a classic position suited to the administrator. However, he takes on the role during the winter season of the hotel when there are no guests or workers present. Therefore, he is stuck in the hotel alone with his wife and son, who both seem to be introverts. Opposed to them, the extroverted Jack develops a serious case of cabin fever and gets influenced by the evil forces of the hotel, which lead him to believe that he is only a proper caretaker of the family if he kills it. This would tie the family members forever to the hotel in some sort of stable, parallel dimension that never changes.
Have you ever thought for a single solitary moment about my responsibilities to my employers? That I have agreed to look after the Overlook Hotel until May the 1st. Does it matter to you at all? And that I have signed a letter of agreement, a contract, in which I have accepted that responsibility? Do you have the slightest idea what a moral and ethical principle is, do you?
The stabilizer is in their element when they establish or maintain stability in their personal lives and the world, by the means of using rules, technology, or routines that preserve the individual and follow externally validated logic. Dr. Ava Page has a background in providing medical care, healthy food and security protocols. She's the chancellor of an organization that is concerned with managing population control and the preservation of the human species. This involves finding a cure to a deadly virus. To accomplish this, Ava has been supporting extreme experiments on immune children. In her efforts to stabilize the human species, she is willing to let a whole generation die. Judge Claude Frollo is a wicked minister of justice in Paris and a devout Catholic. He knows very well Catholic scripture and how the world works, repeating to Quasimodo, whom he has adopted, that people look down on ugliness. Frollo is hell-bent on getting rid of the Romani in the city because their spiritualist customs disrupt the Catholic order he is used to. To quote him, "The gypsies live outside the normal order, their heathen ways inflame the people's lowest instincts and they must be stopped." However, it is actually Frollo himself whose lower instincts are stirred by a Romani woman, which disturbs his regular way of life. His inability to deal with this disruption leads to catastrophic outcomes. The humanist is in their natural element when they are able to communicate their ethical views and insights about how human matters should or should not be in an indirect, metaphorical manner that makes new and unusual or fantastical connections with a timeless quality. Donna is a quiet young woman who mainly communicates through her animated doll Angie. In contrast, Angie is much more outspoken and clearly voices what she likes and doesn't like, giving Donna the opportunity to express herself indirectly. Donna has anthropomorphized the doll, making it truly more human than it really is. Furthermore, Donna is able to make her victims hallucinate about their worst fears and memories in truly terrific ways, showing them grotesquely iconic imagery that is unsettling no matter the time period. At the end of Donna's chapter, the protagonist stabs her doll to death and thereby revealing that it was actually Donna that he stabbed. This is a very good metaphor of how there's a strong lifeline between Donna and her fantastical creation, and how losing herself in it in a dark way leads to her demise, which is a trap a lot of humanists can fall into. A tragic case of where personal identification and imagination can go too far. Last and one of the least, the English professor and author Humbert Humbert from the iconic novel Lolita. When I read this book, I was struck by the highly poetic and associative language that Humbert, the protagonist, used to describe his dark inclinations, such as describing young girls he lusts after as demonic nymphets. This is a stunning example of a dark humanist using his purpose role to obscure his own evils. Whilst he's waiting for his murder trial, he attempts to use his associative language in order to humanize himself and his actions. At last, I want to reiterate that the darkness of the soul intensifies after the instincts have been hurt or traumatized. For more on the instincts, watch my previous dark series about the instincts. People do not always embody their purpose role when they are dark and unhealthy. Some people merely resort to their weaker cognitive functions and then become ultimately ineffective and lost in life. But the greatest villains and heroes in fiction and in real life utilize their purpose role because that is where their personality's inner power lies. If you want to find out what your purpose role is, then go to my website www.typevolution.com/services and let's see if I can help you out. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, because it really helps out the channel and you will see more of this kind of content. Happy Halloween and see you in the next video. Bye!